Today I messed up by ruining an otherwise excellent date by making a shitty joke. Yesterday I messed up and ruined someone's day trying to be a comedian. So it started with a friend of mine setting me up with the cousin of another friend of his as a half joke. We talked for 2 weeks and decided to go on a date. Yay! I'll call her Tiana for the sake of this post. So a few fun facts about Tiana. 1. Her fiancé of 8 years died a year and a half ago in a car accident, and 2. She loves dark humor. She's made jokes about her dad's death and death in general. With that you have almost all the info I had going into this date. So we met up for dinner at this restaurant and honestly it was great. Our senses of humor matched and she is a very attractive person. I had a genuinely good time. Later I invited her over to watch a movie because why not? I didn't really expect to get laid, but a man can hope, right? Well, she agreed and an hour later we were at my apartment trying to decide what kind of movie to watch. Here's where I messed up. Me, what about horror? Nope. Last time I watched a horror movie with fiancé, we slept with the lights on for a week. I swear I could see my dad's spirit shaking his fists at me for selling his shitty coin collection every time the lights turned off. Fiancé, never stop teasing me about it. Me, maybe he's watching you now. Shaking his fists at you for trying to date again or something. That's it, folks. That's the screw up. A shitty half attempt at the joke that completely killed the mood. All the color drained from Tiana's face and she went quiet. I tried to start a conversation again, but it looked like I was just making her more uncomfortable, so I stopped. She apologized, said she felt unwell and left. She did message me again later, explaining how she's been struggling with survivor's guilt after the accident and how she always had the feeling it was too early to move on. That she was having a good time, but the image I put in her head made her panic, and how she still felt like she was cheating. She thanked me and said she was not ready to move on yet and we should stop talking. And that is how I ruined the first date I've had in the post-COVID era. Too long. Didn't read. Made a shitty joke about my date's deceased fiancé and ruined a good date. Today I messed up by accidentally bottling unfermented wine, which I then had to drink for years every time we visited my in-laws. After living abroad for a few years, my now wife, then girlfriend, and I decided to move to Canada. Having not lived here before, we needed to get set up and decided to take up her parents' offer to stay with them while we found our feet. My girlfriend immediately found a job, but I did not yet have my work visa, so I was left in this awkward state of limbo, staying at the in-laws' house with no work, no friends and nothing to actually really do, at least for the short term until we got our new life on track. So, I was desperate to keep busy and be helpful. I painted walls, I mowed lawns, I cooked food, and memorably and only once I bottled wine. See, they loved wine, which can get to be an expensive hobby when you are drinking a bottle a day. They have both quit alcohol now, thank the Lord. Having the space and the motivation, they decided to make their own. They had 2 carboys on the go at a time, at various stages of readiness, along with all the paraphernalia to bottle it, even had cute labels made up with their own logo and wine names with terrible puns. They often would give wine as a gift, and they even made a batch for our wedding which turned out pretty great. Well, you can see where this is going. Desperate for something helpful to do, I offered to bottle the wine as I knew it was a job that needed doing. Completely misunderstanding the directions for which one to bottle, I happily spent an afternoon bottling 6 gallons of mostly unfermented, unfinished wine from the wrong carboy. 29 bottles, because I was careful not to bottle the sediment at the bottom that would have gone in the 30th, wouldn't want to spoil the taste, would we? Very soon after, we moved out and I didn't see them again until Christmas, a couple of months later. What did you think of the meal last night? My girlfriend asks me with a twinkle in her eye. And how about the wine? It all came out. She had commented to her dad that the wine was not one of his finest, it was Godwaffle, and he told her what happened and asked her not to tell me because I was only trying to help. Bless them. Of course, she couldn't contain her mirth and soon the whole story was out. Incredulous, we asked why they were drinking it, to which the answer was that they simply couldn't bear to throw away 29 bottles of wine, however bad it was. Let me tell you, that wine was horrible, but goddammit, every time we visited for years after out would come a bottle and we would all force it down, them out of some terrible pig-headed thriftiness, me out of shame, and my wife laughing her butt off. I believe they did throw away the last few bottles a couple of years back, finally releasing me from the glass of shame, and funnily enough they have quit alcohol altogether now. Too long. Didn't read. Bottled the wrong wine trying to be helpful, spent years drinking god-awful wine every time we visited the in-laws' house. Today I messed up by shaving my testicles. So, I hadn't shaved my two marbles in a while. Quarantine has been tough on me. Luckily, I'm seeing my lady again in a week, long-distance relationship, so I had to make myself presentable for the deed. Went to the toilet, prepared to shave, but I couldn't find my usual cream. Found one in a drawer with menthol. Same thing, right? Wrong. I've been in pain for 10 minutes. Got a clown doing a prank, handful of shaving cream. As soon as the foamy devil touched my precious family jewels, all my scrotum lit up as if it was in a freezer. It isn't a hot burn, but a cold one, so I'm shivering around the house praying to 6 different gods that the effect passes soon. Lads, go for the regular one. I know I'm not the only one that has experienced this. Too long. Didn't read. I shaved my testicles with menthol shaving cream and now my balls feel like I've dipped them in the Antarctic Ocean.